It's the man YSN, and you're listening to YSN Radio. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Y'all know what time it is, man. You're rocking with the man YSN, and you're tuning into the episode of YSN Radio, the coolest podcast in the South. We are back. I know it has been a minute. Last time I was on the channel, on the pod, was March, South by Southwest. Since then, a lot can happen in 60 days. A lot can happen in 60 days, man. A lot of changes have been going on behind the scenes. Back in the radio business. Yes, I thought it wasn't going to happen, man, but accepted a position as a board operator with 95.5 WSB, and so I've been working there, started April 20th. Yeah, so I've been working there, getting used to the way to land, the new schedule and everything, and a bunch of other stuff going on behind the scenes as well, man. So still in Atlanta, working my move on the scene out here, bro, and shit is moving. Less than a year, back in radio, DJing the whole 9 yards, man. Exactly how I planned. Just took a little time, man. But we are back in full swing, man. Back in full swing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and address it. Especially if you've been following me. I know you've seen it. I just went viral a couple of days ago with Latto. Yeah, shout out Latto, Big Mama. Absolutely, man. If you've been following the show, you know I'm a huge fan of Latto and her music. Always thought she's one of the best female rappers in the game, period, man. So she just dropped the Big Mama album last Friday. Fantastic piece of work. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And so to promote the album, she was hosting a meet and greet here in Atlanta, you know, on the day it came out. It's her hometown, why not? And so I saw it on the gram and I figured, well, shoot, I got the day free. Let me go out and meet Latto. Why not? So boom, that morning, I texted her a group chat just on some funny shit like, yo, I'm about to go to the Latto meet and greet. Should I get her some flowers? Just on some funny shit. One of the homies was like, get her some diapers. I'm like, you know what? That's actually a great idea. So yeah, go to the store, pick up a pack of Huggies, and shoot, go to the meet and greet. I got there mad early, so I had a great spot in line. Everybody kept looking at me weird, like, why the fuck does this nigga got diapers in his hands, man? But, you know, I just wanted to do something that was going to stand out. I was like, it's going to be hundreds, if not thousands of people here. You know, I want to do something that's going to make her laugh, make her chuckle, do something to stand out and memorable, you know, something memorable. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, people in line like, what you got the diapers for? I'm gonna give them to her. She just had a baby. Why not? You feel me? So we get there, we get inside, you know, they had to set up the merch booth and everything. And Latto's looking great. She looked great. And the interaction itself only lasted about 10-15 seconds. You know, I took the video of me walking up, giving her the diapers. We snapped a few photos. She said, thank you, this is so sweet, and went on about my business, man. Posted it, and within a couple hours, that shit was through the fucking roof. Hella engaged, man. I think right now the TikTok is almost at 500,000 views. Like it's insane. And then on Instagram, it's about a quarter mil on Instagram. So the impressions on that has been insane, man. So shout out to Latto. I don't know if you're going to use the diapers or not. I mean, they are Huggies. Apparently, I've been getting eaten up in the comments by a lot of people. Like, why'd you buy Huggies? Why didn't you buy Millie Moon or what the fuck? There's a couple people that was talking about these Millie Moon diapers. Why didn't you get Millie Moon diapers? First of all, I don't know what the fuck a Millie Moon diaper was. My daughter's been potty trained for years. I can't even tell you the last time I bought some diapers, bro. Like she hasn't been on my radar for the longest of time. So I actually had to go and look up what Millie Moon diapers was. I had no idea what they were, man. And then, you know, other people were like, why are you buying rich people gifts? It was $9. It's $9, man. I feel like it was worth it. It was worth it, bro. But either way, you know, big fan of Latto. Will she use the diapers? maybe not, but hey, we made a moment, man. We made a moment. But shout out to Latto for being super cool, super nice, and dropping a really dope album, man. Big Mama, like I said, just dropped on Friday. It's doing really well. Hit debuted at number 16 on the Billboard charts. Her highest debuting album to date. And like I said, man, I thoroughly enjoyed it, bro. Some of my favorite songs in there is Get Money Girl, Get Out My Face, The Glorilla. That song, every time I play it in the car, I'm doing at least 100, bro. But the Yah sample, shout out Soulja Boy for, blessing the beat on that one, man. Bro, yeah, that song is fucking crazy. And then On That, too. On That is a banger as well. She also goes crazy with Doja Cat on a song Okay. That's a super chill song. Chrome Heart Diaper Bag was a really dope song as well. I feel like that Chrome Heart Diaper Bag on Chrome Heart Diaper Bag, that gives me the feel of like her walking out at a concert or something. If she ever decides to tour, I feel like she's going to open up the tour with Chrome Heart Diaper Bag. When I went to go see her in Nashville a couple years ago, when she was touring for Sugar Honey Iced Tea, she opened up with Georgia Peach, which is very introspective, like ballad type of song, man. And ain't nothing like a Georgia girl, and all the ladies were singing it. But yeah, I feel like Chrome Heart Diaper Bag would be a fantastic walkout song if she was ever to do a tour for this album or any type of live shows. I feel like Chrome Heart Diaper Bag with the Go Big Mama chant in the background, it gave me big show, big concert vibes, man. But overall, bro, I liked it. I really enjoyed the album, man. But if you go online and read all the reviews, been getting a lot of crazy reviews, but I chalked it up to people just hating on it, bro. For some reason, one thing I've been noticing when it comes to Latto, it's like a very strong crowd of people, mainly on the internet, that just hate her fucking guts. And I really don't understand why. Like, what honestly did Latto do to make so many people hate her so much, bro? Because people have been online these last couple of days just talking crazy about that woman, man. And the critiques on her album, everyone has their own opinions when it comes to music. Art is subjective, you feel me? But, people are, talking about the whole pregnancy situation where her and 21 Savage, which I'm not going to get into that. This isn't a gossip show, but, just calling her a bird and this, that, and the third. And I don't know. And I think, honestly, because if you really think back to when the last album dropped, Sugar Honey Iced Tea, people were giving her a lot of shit because they were taking the bars that she was saying on that album personally and saying she was mean and tone deaf and this, that, and the third. And I had to come on here and be like, have you ever listened to rap before? Like, this shit is normal, you know what I mean? So maybe this is just another part of the album cycle, you feel me? The supporters are going to support and the haters going to hate. Either way it goes, at the meet and greet in real life, the line was wrapped around the block and went further, was multiple blocks. The line was long as shit. That's why I was happy I got there early, man. But the internet is not a real place. But if you look on the internet and see all the hate comments, Latto's been getting dragged to hell over the last couple of days. And I think a lot of that had to do with because she addressed Cardi B on the album, with just one bar. It wasn't even like anything horrible. You feel me? You want to rewinding back, when Cardi B was going through it with Nicki. She's always going through it with Nicki, but audio got leaked of her saying that she's not like Latto, calling Latto pussy and this, that, and the third, and saying she'll actually fight Nicki and this, that. And then Cardi took to Twitter to publicly apologize to Latto and say she would buy her a bag. Latto gets on, I think it was Gimme That, if I'm not mistaken, and addressed it and was like, you gonna buy me a bag? My man has already bought me a bag. So, and a lot of people in the comments are Cardi B fans, but that's just stan culture, bro. Stan culture, I don't even think those really count as real people, let alone fans, man. But I don't think any of the negative comments online should be taken as credible at all, because honestly it's all bullshit, bro. It's all bullshit. Big Mama is a great album in my personal opinion. Shout out Latto, and hope to hear some more. Hope there's actual tour. I don't know, she just had a baby, maybe not. Cardi B went on tour, but Who knows? You feel me? But hey, if she does decide she wants to go on a tour, I will be there. I will be there. Go Big Mama. Go Big Mama. Moving on. Drake. Back in the news again. He's always in the news again. Just a couple weeks ago, he dropped a long-awaited Iceman album. He actually dropped a 3-pack. Iceman, Habibti, and Maid of Honor. All 3 were bangers. You feel me? And I've discussed this. I got an interview dropping with King E here in a couple of days because, King E is the world's biggest Drake hater. And so we got into this whole debate, about Drake and his and where he stands in rap right now, man. But yeah, I enjoyed all 3 projects. Iceman was exactly what I thought it was going to be as far as bars go, talking about the beefs and the fallout from said interactions, with Kendrick and ASAP Rock, all that. And that was exactly what happened. It was pretty much talked about every song addressing that whole situation and, how he was recovering from it and, and how he feels now with everybody turned their back on him. Maid of Honor was more so of EDM dancing vibes, club music, and I jammed with that, man. Some of my favorite songs Maid of Honor: Cheetah Print with Sexy Red, Which One with Central C. True Bestie is an absolute banger, bro. True Bestie is probably my favorite song out of all 3 albums, man. That song is fucking hard. And then Habibti is all R&B love vibes. Some of my favorite songs on Habibti: Slap the City, Here Not There, or Here Nor There, and Fort Worth with Party Next Door, man. Iceman has some bangers on there. I really enjoyed National Treasures. Janet, Shut the Fuck Up. That just went #1 and helped him break Michael Jackson's record. Ran to Atlanta with Future. Good to see him and Future reunited on the album, man. Bees on the Table is also really good. So it's a lot of dope songs on all 3 albums, bro. So shout out to Drake, man. Shout out to Drake for dropping a really dope 3-piece and taking over once again, man. But with Drake always comes some controversy. Especially this week, man, with Sauce Walka. And this was kind of conflicted, man, because I fuck with Sauce Walka. Shout out Holy Water and the whole CSF crew, man. If you just a couple months ago, I was hanging out with them South by Southwest. Make sure y'all go check that vlog out. Super dope. But yeah, man, Sauce Walka and Drake has been, I wouldn't really call it a back and forth, but Sauce Walka going through with his baby mama, and she exposed him for pretty much threatening, to do something to Drake because she was fucking Drake or whatnot. And I don't know. I think without context, looking at this whole Sauce Walka and Drake situation to people who aren't familiar with who Sauce is or familiar with his music or anything about him, of course it's going to look like Sauce Walka is going out sad, because the lady in question, I think the lady's name is Kylie. She is one of Sauce Walka's baby moms. Posted videos and audio recordings of Sauce Walka spazzing out on her, saying Drake needs to keep his name out his mouth and he'll get his car shot up and this, that, and the third, and posting screenshots of their messages saying that Sauce Walka is just mad because she was fucking Drake and Drake bought her a Maybach and this, that, and the third, trying to paint Sauce Walka as this bitter guy who's mad that Drake fucked his baby moms, which, like I said, without context, it makes Sauce Walka look crazy. But if you are a fan of Sauce Walka, if you're familiar with Sauce Walka, you know the line of work that he's in. This is right up his alley. This is right up Sauce Walka's alley, and he even came out and said it himself. He's not tender. He's not anything. He's not. No, he sent her. Literally said in the post, I can't be tender if I sent her. So he posts his own a collection of screenshots basically showing that he sent her to Drake. Drake has been, smashing her down, buying her cars, bags, and this and the third. And all the money that Drake has been giving to Kylie has been bringing back to Sauce Walka because that is his MO. That is his line of work. That's what he does. And so he's saying, I've been spending Drake's money for years. But honestly, man, this whole thing back and forth between Sauce and Drake, if you really break it down, Sauce Walka has always hated Drake. Hate may be a strong word, but Sauce Walka has always had a problem with Drake, well, for more than 10 years now. And the problem that he has with Drake is really no different than any other gripe most people have about him. Pretty much the source of it is because he feels Drake comes to Houston and absorbs a lot of the culture and the style and doesn't give much back to the city that he takes so much from, which is a valid argument. Same argument that Kendrick raised, when they were going back and forth. And a lot of people say that about Drake, calling him a cultural appropriator. And Drake shows a ton of love and admiration to Houston. I know he's had songs with Travis Scott, Bun B, but Sauce Walka feels like that he could be doing more for the city of Houston and for the people who have created the style and the culture that he borrows from so heavily. And he's pretty much stood on that for years, said it on multiple songs and interviews and posts. His stance on Drake has not wavered much, if not at all, for more than a decade, man. And so the thing about women, especially if you're in a committed relationship or have a child with a woman or any dealings with a woman, that once you get close to them and you make them upset, they know exactly what to do, what to say that's going to hurt you the most, that's going to embarrass you the most. So if you know this man has had this ongoing feud with Drake for years, why not paint him out to be bitter at the man? And then if you really break it down, like, Drake was sending shots at him subliminally on different songs in Iceman. Apparently Sauce Walka was fucking some girl in a penthouse that Drake had bought her. You feel me? So they've been going tit for tat, fucking each other's hoes for years. You know what I mean? And I don't know, bro. This is all just a classic case of a bitter baby mama trying to embarrass him. You feel me? I don't think it's as deep as people are trying to paint it out to be. It's just they got into an argument and she's just being petty. She's just being petty. And the thing about women, when it comes to being petty, they are Olympic gold medalists. They are Olympic gold medalists at being petty. The only thing is Sauce Walka is, what he does is not necessarily legal. You feel me? So I don't know. I think he dropped a song today called Baby Mama Drama, and posted a receipt saying he sent her and this, that, and the third. I would just hate for him to talk himself into an indictment trying to prove himself in this whole situation. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna go into too deep a detail because I don't want to be fed or anything. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Sauce should just take this one on the chin. You feel me? Because feds are always watching, bro. Feds are always watching, man. But either way it goes, I don't think it's as serious as people are making out to be. Of course, people online are trying to clown Sauce, this and the third, bro. But it's honestly just some baby mama drama, bro. It's just some baby mama drama. If you were, why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she? If you're in her shoes, like most women, that's what women do. That's what women do. Like once they get upset, they're going to hit you where it hurts. And why not embarrass you by making it seem like you're jealous of the man that you've been feuding with for years? It only makes sense, man. It only makes sense, bro. Moving on. Diddy back in the news again. One of the freak off tapes got leaked. One of the freak off tapes got leaked starring 50 Cent's baby mama. And the thing about this with the Diddy tape getting leaked, I didn't watch the whole thing. I seen enough of the Diddy tape to know this nigga is disgusting. Everything they said about that man is true. Like, this nigga is literally in the corner beating his meat while watching his bitch get fucked by a male prostitute. Like, and shit like that sounds crazy, like when you're just hearing about it, of course in the trials and reading the indictment and everything. It's like, oh my gosh, this Diddy is fucking insane. But like actually seeing it on tape, it's like, Oh, wait, this nigga isn't like, oh no, bro. Oh no, man. Of course, 50 Cent's having a field day. Been trolling his baby mama for the last couple of days, and I don't blame him. Because if you got a kid with a lady, y'all share a child, and she gets put out for being in Diddy's harem of debauchery, and just even if we've seen on tape, she was definitely getting freaked off, but like that's just not a good look. That's just not a good look at all. Whether you're, the baby dad, the baby, I don't know how old the kid is, but like imagine, bro, like your kid is at school and people are showing your kid videos of like, come on now, bro, like, oh man. And so she put out a statement saying that the video showed her in a compromising position, and she was just trying to please her man and do what he wanted to make him happy, and playing the victim card. And I don't want to victim shame or do anything of the sort, but my whole thing with the ladies involved with the Diddy case, Cassie aside, but like, when you're in the midst of the act, like we literally see you smiling and enjoying yourself in the parts that I saw, you feel me? She seemed to be having a fantastic time, but once it's over and the public knows about it, and now it's not so fun, the money is dried up, you're embarrassed now. Oh, I was a victim, I was being taken advantage of, and this, that, and the third, I was blinded by love. It's kind of hard to believe. And again, I'm not trying to shame, like victim shame or anything like that. My whole point is, you didn't know that it was wrong when you were doing it. It wasn't anything that like in the middle of like, why do I have to fuck this dude when we're together? Like, there was no questions asked. Oh no, like you're a fully grown adult. Like, I don't know, bro. I feel like, I don't know, man. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy that statement that she put out at all. I think it's just, she was just embarrassed. Also saw that she was followed up with the promotion 75% off on her OnlyFans. So which one is it? I don't know, man. Like, that whole situation was crazy. And I think being able to visualize the actual freak off, like, I think it just added a whole new level of like gravity to the situation, because you get to see it in action. It's kind of like if you're reading a smut book and then they make a live adaptation of that book, like 50 Shades of Grey, for example. That was the book, and then they put it on the movie screen. Everybody's like, oh. Same thing with the Diddy freak offs, man. All we heard was just like oral renditions of how the freak offs would go, and then now we see it on tape, and it's like, huh. That's actually kind of fucking weird. Hell no. Oh shit, man. But oh my goodness, man. What else? So Euphoria just wrapped up on Sunday, man. Oh my gosh, what an ending. Shout out Zendaya for a spectacular performance. Shout out Coleman Domingo for a spectacular performance. Marshawn Lynch even did his thing in this last season of Euphoria, man. They all put on great performances, bro. But that ending of Euphoria, it's been a couple of days, so you should have seen it by now. Spoilers ahead, but the ending was absolutely insane. Rue overdoses on fentanyl. Like, that's like, and I don't want to say it as if I'm surprised. Like, Rue definitely has been tweaking off pills the entire show. That literally is the show. Rue being on drugs. Like, this last season was pretty much her trying to redeem herself, get herself out of debt from Lori, the drug trafficking Nazis, and then she runs into Alamo, the sex trafficking cowboy, and pretty much getting ping pong in between the two. And then she goes fed and starts working for the DEA. Rue was just fucked this entire season. Honestly, like, it made sense for her to die. It just sucked the way it happened. You know what I mean? Because at the end, you can tell just how tired she was, from running and dealing with the consequences of her actions, and I think it's been so long. It was such a long gap between season 2 and season 3. I kind of forgot just how much she was terrorizing everyone around her in the last season, when she was super tweaking out, on pills, breaking down the door, fighting with her mom and everything, so it kind of made sense that she would go out alone, per se. The only person that really cared about her was Ali, Coleman Domingo's character, and you seen he slid for Rue. Went back and blew that nigga's face off, bro. But a lot of people online has been saying that they hated the ending. They hate Sam Levinson, and Rue deserved a happy ending and redemption, and pretty much wanted sunshine and rainbows. And it makes me question, like, do you guys like all the people that had horrible things to say about Euphoria and Sam Levinson, not just this season, just throughout the entire show? What the fuck did you expect from a show about drug addiction? Literally, the show is about drug addiction. There is nothing about the world of addiction that is sunshine and rainbows. There is nothing pleasant about addiction at all. And anything surrounding the realm of hard drugs, everything about that world is dark and depressing. Yes, are there success stories of people becoming clean and redeeming themselves? Absolutely. But those are the anomalies. That's why people celebrate them so much, because that doesn't happen all the time. People really die behind this shit. Rue's death is the same story that millions of people have faced in real life, time and time and time again. Was it a very dark and harrowing watch? Absolutely, yes. It was extremely sad, but it was also extremely real. People was talking about the storyline with Cassie becoming an OnlyFans model, as if you go back and watch the first episode, like, she was literally her introduction to the screen was her being exposed for being a hoe. You feel me? Like, come on now. Let's not act like we don't know the girls in high school who was out there that end up growing up to becoming a stripper or starting an OnlyFans. This is like, let's not be dense here and act like this shit does not happen in real life. And then even with the sex work angle that they was running with Cassie, I think they did a great job showing the parallels of sex work, because they showing Cassie, being the popular influencer OnlyFans girls with all the glitz and glamour, going to the parties and booking the roles, and like the quote unquote fun side of it. And then you see the girls working at Alamo's club who's being forced to dance, being forced to sleep around, being forced to do this shit. You feel me? It's like, it's the same coin, two sides of the same coin, and it's showing both the quote unquote benefits, upsides, and the dark downsides of sex work, man. Just same thing as they're showing with addiction. You feel me? There's a lot of money. You can, the euphoric feeling of being on drugs, but the reality of it is, it's only going to get you to two places: death or jail. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Nobody wins. Nobody wins, man. It's just like, and so I enjoyed the ending. I enjoyed the show. I was sad to see Rue go out, but I understand why he had to do that, especially with Angus Cloud, the guy who played Fez, passing away from a fentanyl overdose. I feel like he really wanted to drive home the point on just how dangerous fentanyl is and how easy it is, for people to go out at the hands of fentanyl, man. And I think he used Rue, the character, as a vessel to drive that point home, and hit people where it hurts, you know what I mean? And that's just the sad part about addiction. Some people do get better and get well. Some people don't. That's just real. That's real. Euphoria, and Euphoria showed that, man. Euphoria showed that, bro. But I don't know. I do hope that maybe like we do get like some special editions. Maybe not. He said the show is completely done. But either way, I think bravo, man. That was a really good show, and sad to see it go, but hey, now I can go back and binge watch the whole thing. I can go back and binge watch the whole thing, man. But boom, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up on that note. Appreciate you guys for being patient with me, man. Thank you guys for coming back. I know, like I said, it's been a while. A lot of real life stuff going on behind the scenes, man. I just actually, before I got on camera, just got off the call with Juice the Plug. If you are in the Atlanta area, make sure you come and watch the game at Cosm. They got the coolest DJ in the South on the sounds, man. That's brand new information. Like I said, just got off the call right before I started recording this, man. So if you're in the Atlanta area, you want to come watch the game at Cosm and enjoy a really dope experience, man, I will be on the 1s and 2s. So come and holler at your boy. Make sure you tap in with me on the gram for more details, man. That is breaking news, bro. Breaking news, man. But a lot of stuff has been going on behind the scenes. I've been getting super busy down here in Atlanta. Like I said, just got back in the radio biz, lining up super big DJ deals, man, and getting back on the content grind, bro. I know I've been in a bit of a drought for a minute, dealing with all that, but the whole Latto situation kind of like, well, here you go, nigga. And I was already planning on starting shit back up, in the summertime, once I got everything situated with my new schedule and stuff, so it just pretty much divine timing, went ultra viral. So boom, back in the swing of things, man. Back in the swing of things. That's how it always happens, bro. But either way it goes, make sure y'all stay tapped in, man. Tons of new stuff on the way. New interviews, new vlogs, new content, bro. Stay tuned. It's YSN Radio, the coolest podcast in the South. Check out all the other episodes anywhere you get your podcast from. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon. Check out all the vlogs, interviews, solo episodes, the whole 9 yards. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at YSN Radio. Check out the website, ysnradio.com. Until next time, same place. It's the coolest podcast in the South. YSN Radio. Let's go.